Hello dear friends of the folded sheet. Today I'll show you how to fold a Traveller from the game Journey, and the design is by Matt Nava, who is a former art director of the game Journey and now creative director at Giant Squid. You can find him on Twitter as Matt Nava or on giantsquidstudios.com, his website. I used an ordinary sheet of 15 centimeters Kami. As you can see, there's a nice dual color effect, so if you're going for that, use dual color paper. And I rated low intermediate, not too easy, but it can be done with a little practice. So let's get right at it. Okay, so Matt was kind enough to provide diagrams for this model, so I went ahead and printed them out, and we'll use them along with the video. You can print them by clicking on the annotation in the video or find the link to the website in the description box. So first step is white side up and fold in half and unfold again in both directions. Fair enough. And we turn it around and fold the diagonals. The diagrams are really easy to follow. There's just one tricky bit which will be a little confusing for beginners in diagram form, and that is the whole reason why I'm making this video. But don't worry, we will get there. So other diagonal too. Open it up and now fold in the lower corner to the center and unfold it again. So now collapse it into the preliminary base, like this, or diamond base it's also called. Next step is a squash fold as indicated here. Work your finger through the two layers and simply flatten it out as I do here. Now fold the lower edges of the new diamond shape here into the angle bisector, so the edge goes to the center line on both sides. Make those creases nice and neat. I think I didn't do too well. I think I'll need to correct them later on, but nevertheless we continue by doing a petal fold. This entails lifting up the central layer, recreasing the lower folds, and then forming this petal up here. So as I said, I didn't do the first pre-crease right, so I need to rearrange this, but that is not a problem. It's a little tricky to fold under the camera, to be honest. But let's continue. So we turned over the flaps and now we do another petal fold. This is what this small arrow here indicates. We repeat the last few steps on this other flap. So all those steps, first crease to the left, then to the right, and now I'll take my time and do it correctly right away. I hope I'm going slow enough for you guys, but nevertheless it's a video so you can pause anytime. Again, let's do the petal fold. Crease it in and simply pinch together the rest of the paper, and it actually will everything fall into place. Put down the flap and find the open part here. Very well. And the next step is folding the whole thing in half after we turn it over. So turning over and folding in half. There are now really a lot of layers to work through, so need to force this crease a little. Okay, so now we did that. We open up the whole thing, and now comes the tricky part. Those few steps. It's actually just inverting the whole model so it comes inside out, and then we turn around this also and simply collapse it again. So now all those petals that were on the outside are now inside this lower triangle here. That's it. But let's do it one more time. So we go from this arrangement to pop it up and collapse it again to this shape. That is all that is there. Fair enough. Just make sure that the flap here in the triangle is outside, where I just had my finger. And now we take the central petal flap here and fold it down and fold the other two here back. Okay. Now we turn it around and do those few steps here, which basically are rabbit ears. So turn it up, then fold it in half once more, then fold the angle bisector. Pinch together the last angle bisector that hasn't been pre-creased, and then collapse it as shown. You might want to consult the diagram here, as I think this video is just an add-on to the diagrams. So we fold in half the flap and half again, and fold the angle bisector by pinching here the flap a little, and then fold the other angle bisector too. That's an additional crease I did to make it easier, and I'm sorry that this is off camera, but I think it's good enough to follow it. So these were the steps we did, and now it wants us to open up this flap here on the back side and crease in a little. This will give us the color change for the bottom of the coat, or the lower part of the coat. This is just a judgment fold, so you decide how big the color changes. There's no orientation whatsoever, I just do a little and try to do it evenly, so the same amount on both sides, and then fold it again, and there you will find the corners will need a little work here so they stay together. And now we're here. What it wants us to do now is to fold in a zigzag line the large flap, which will be the scarf, the magic scarf that the traveler uses to fly. And then we do this folds to smaller the scarf, so it's not a triangle but more scarf shaped. And what I do to achieve this is we pre-crease the angle bisector here and on the other side too, and then open it up and just force it inwards, and like a door it will just move the lower part of the paper. And the only thing important is that you make it even on both sides. Naturally, at least in my case, that is not the case, but folds it up a little. And there you go. Even. And now we fold it down as indicated in the diagram. Yeah, where it is, there you go. Just fold down the whole scarf and back of the coat thing. And now we tuck in the lower parts of those flaps, which actually will be the feet of the traveler soon enough. And to be honest, I don't know what this step is for. I guess it's so the feet don't open. I forgot it once and the model worked too, but I'll just stick to the diagram because Matt probably knows what he's doing too. Because I really like this model, even though I never played the game. I like the visuals a lot, so well done, Matt. What we do now is we fold the corners in so they align here, this line, so it is the shape is a triangle, and you need to enforce those creases because there are a lot of layers and it's important so it closes properly. And now what we need to do is to make one pocket here and just tuck in the corner along the edges we just created by folding. So it just is shoving it in, and that is it. We now fold the whole apparatus in half, and you now can already see the code and the feet and everything. And now the instructions are not so useful because now a lot of shaping is going on, so I think it's easier to understand by that. So just pull up this scarf a little by opening it up and then close it again, and that creates two creases as you can see here. It's called a crimp fold, but it nearly happening on its own when you just pull up the scarf and close the whole thing again. And now we fold the angle bisectors to make the head of the traveler, the hoodie, basically. And now we need to reverse that fold and tuck in this nose here into the pocket. So work your finger through that pocket and shove it in. And before we do that, I recommend to do the shaping. So we want to have it a little volume. So it's not a flat model, it's a three-dimensional model. So bend the paper into shape and then finally work in the pocket. That's a little fiddling, but don't lose patience. There you go. And now all we have to do is a little more shaping, and basically our traveler is already done. We can curve it and make it two creases in the front row here. I like to do them by having the finger in and pinching into the finger. Matt recommends other pre-crease, but it's a free country, so do as ever you like. Bend the feet into place so your traveler can stand and travel later on. And yeah, I need to bend it a little more. And then your traveler can also stand to guide you on your journeys. So I hope you enjoyed this model. Thanks once more to Matt, who kindly gave me the permission to fold this. You can find him on Twitter at Matt Nava, or visit his website, and both of those things are actually clickable links. And the music, as often is the case, was provided by the awesome Kevin MacLeod of incompetech.com. Maybe you want to visit his website, and if you enjoyed this diagram an awful lot, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. It's free and you will get notified whenever I upload new stuff. So, happy folding and bye bye!